Good afternoon, everyone. We are again live from the UK, and this time with a top leader for Healy in the UK. That is Miss Kathryn Brown. She is with me. Hello, Kathryn.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Qureshi.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Kathryn is a director at Brown Equine, and also the top leader of Healy. What I would request, Kathryn, if you could give an introduction of yourself, please. Thank you.
Hi, as Qureshi said, I'm Kathryn from Derbyshire, so I'm in the middle of the UK, which is quite handy, apart from when everything's in London. We work from home with my husband, John, and we run our own business, manufacturing and retailing equipment for horse arenas. So our manufacturing plant makes all the products, and then they are marketed online or via recommendation to customers within the UK and probably into Europe as well.
Right. Okay. You want to give us some more of your passions for the horses?
My background, right? Okay. Well, I suppose I started my career in finance and marketing financial products. Left to have a family, and my husband's a farmer. Farming's been through quite a tough time over the last sort of 20, 25 years. So we had to diversify and come up with other income streams. And that's one of the reasons that we diversified into the equine products. I've always ridden throughout my life. John's good at building and manufacturing stuff, and I was doing the marketing. So we sort of combined our interests and skills, and it sort of developed into what is now Brown's Equine. But some years ago, about 6 years ago, unfortunately, John was assaulted completely out of the blue and wasn't able to work for quite a number of years. Sorry, not years, a number of months. But that had quite a big impact on a small business. And so I'd also, in my career, looked at network marketing, been involved through being interested in health and wellness products. And I decided that I'd got to do something that would give the family more security. So went again down the marketing route, and different things happen and lead you to different people. Throughout my journey doing that, I met Qureshi, and that's ultimately how I came to find out about Healy.
Thank you for that. That was my question. How did you get connected with Healy? And if you want to share that story, how the Healy was mentioned.
All right. Well, Qureshi and I were working on a different project, marketing that. And then John, unfortunately, probably due to the effects of the assault a few years ago, became ill suddenly. And Qureshi mentioned about the Healy. And so I went off down to London to have a look at it and to see what it could do. Obviously, you're a little bit skeptical. I sort of knew a little bit through friends, really, about frequencies, aura healing, all of that kind of thing. And I remember sitting in Qureshi's front room at his table, opened this little box to see this little tiny device, and connected it all up through the phone. We were talking with Jerry in Holland, who was explaining all about it and everything. And the information that we got, or that I got about myself, was quite astounding, to be quite honest. It was one of those jaw-dropping moments. I think, how can this little device that's plastic, essentially, come out with that information about me? It knows me better than I know myself. And it wasn't something that other people would particularly know. And I think that was the first little nugget that I thought, there's got to be something in this. So I took it away, and I thought, right, okay, so it helps with pain. Now, John and I don't really suffer, thankfully, from issues to do with pain, most of the time, that is. So I thought, who's the person that I know that has the most pain in their life, and let's see if it works on them. So invited him round, tested it out, and the results within a few days really were immense, quite immense for him as well. He'd got some severe pain. He'd been involved in a serious accident several years before, and had been on a lot of medication to help him cope with the pain. And through using the Healy, he was able to reduce that medication quite drastically, which has a really positive effect. So I went around and tried it on a few other people with different issues, things like sleep problems, anxiety. And the things that were coming back, and I was being told, were things like, gosh, I've had the best night's sleep I've ever had. It must be that little device. It's amazing. And people didn't really understand how it worked, and I don't really think I did totally. But the results that were coming back were really positive. So I decided to buy the resonance one, partly because I'd got friends that were interested in the aura side of things as well. And they were quite amazed by what it was telling them and how they could use that information. So I found that quite intriguing. And also that model gave you all the analysis as well. Because we weren't really sure what was the matter with John, that was quite interesting. And it gave you a starting point as to where to focus and which programs to focus on. And really, between people that we know and ourselves and the family, we've used it for all sorts of different things. And the results have been positive.
Yes, and you mentioned that you went for the top package, the resonance, and you also had a success with your fast start. If you would like to share that, please.
Well, the company ran, or they still do, run a fast start program whereby if you recommend the product and a certain number of people buy, you will qualify for either additional packages or additional devices, depending on where you start, because there's all options for all different budgets. And I was fortunate enough within the first 30 days to be able to get a free device. So I've ended up with 2 devices for our own use, which has been quite good, because one of the things that you don't really realise is that when you both want to use it, we use it first thing in the morning or last thing at night. But we both were wanting to use it at the same time. So 2 devices came in really handy. And the other thing is that when we've done some workshops, Qureshi and I have done some workshops in the UK where people can come and try the machines, put it on themselves. We can do the analysis. They can see if that's an accurate reflection of themselves. And it also gives them an idea of where they can focus to improve their health and wellness and fitness, stress, whatever it is that they're dealing with. 2 machines worked quite well because we could do more people and show more people how it worked.
That's really good. And yes, definitely, you have 2 machines, I have a machine, so between us we could attend 3 people at a time, and yes, the workshop went really well. Now, as a plan for the coming days, what would you say to people who would like to see the Healy or want information or want a demo?
Qureshi is based in London. I come down to London on a fairly regular basis to do with the marketing work that I do. I'm also based in Derbyshire. That's where I live. So I'm sort of in the middle of the country, which is really well positioned to cover a wide area, and we're very accessible with the motorway network and everything. So we're planning to do more of the workshops so that people can actually come. Obviously, we'll do those depending on demand. And no doubt we'll be doing more of the online Zoom calls to give people an idea of what it's all about and to try and explain it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And whoever is listening in today, and they might be listening in later on, what sort of request, or what sort of people you want to request to come on board at this stage? Because we are really quite early and looking for therapists, leaders, and so on. So what would be your message for them, please?
Well, when I sort of set off to try and think who would be interested, I think I probably got it a little bit wrong, because the kinds of people that ended up buying the machine weren't really the people I expected to. So what it sort of said to me is, really, this device is for anybody. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what your financial situation is. There's a way to start using these devices or promoting them as a business, whichever way you want to go about it, for everybody. Literally anybody from sort of 18 onwards. There's options that you can look at, either for your own health, your learning, your finances, if you wanted to promote it and develop a business. There's lots of help and skills out there, not only in this country, because we are at the very early stages, but we're regularly in touch with the people from Germany and the leaders in Holland and Europe. And we're very exciting to be going into America very soon. Mm-hmm. So really, it's for anybody that is looking for something like this, either for their health or for their future wealth. We can cover all aspects, can't we, Qureshi?
Of course. And also the social network aspect, because now we're like a global village now. The world is now accessible anywhere via the internet. And as this company has gone into more than 40 countries, within a year, it's growing so fast. And UK is a fantastic place, which has a multicultural communities from all over the world. So it's a great opportunity for networkers, or people who are leaders, doctors, therapists, to really enjoy the Healy. What's your vision on this?
Well, I think really, with the skills that we've got within the team, it doesn't matter what your starting point is, because I do quite a bit of helping people develop incomes from using the internet and digital marketing. And we've also got skills, Qureshi and I have both got skills in more traditional social selling or network marketing, whatever you want to call it. And that whole industry has changed massively over the last few years, and I think it will continue to change. It's probably had some bad reputation in the past, but it's really an industry that's massively growing for people that want flexibility around their children, or family situations, or elderly parents with ill health, for example. This can provide a really good income in working very flexibly. You can do it alongside another job or commitment, or you could build it up to replace another job or commitment. Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's really wonderful. And also, people out there with problems like migraine, different types of pain, sleep disorders, anxiety, and all that. Do you want to mention something about? There's lots of people lots of things we can do to help them. Yeah.
Well, Healy's been certified as a medical class 2A device. It's registered as one of those, so it can help people with pain problems, skeletal pain, fibromyalgia. There's about 7, aren't there, different things that it's registered for. And, it's also a supportive, registered as a supportive aid for things like stress, depression, all those kind of mental health issues, and anxiety, and sleep disorders. And from the people that I've tried it on that have come across problems in those areas, either with things like migraine or sleep problems or stress, anxiety, it has had a really positive effect.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So
definitely.
It's definitely worth giving it a go.
Yeah.
And it's very flexible as to how you can use it as well.
Yeah. I remember one of your personal testimony, if you mentioned that about the toothache, it up and you didn't have a toothache at the time.
Oh yes, sorry, I'd forgotten. I don't normally suffer with pain, but I was driving back from a weekend in London, and suddenly started to get really bad toothache, really bad. And by the time I got home, I was in a lot of pain with it, and I couldn't get to sleep, and I was tossing and turning. And this was quite early on in my experience with Healy. And John said, "Put that thing on that you've got. It's supposed to deal with pain." Because he was still a bit skeptical at that time. So I did, because I thought do anything to get rid of the pain. Put it on, and it was literally within minutes, 5-10 minutes, the difference in the level of pain was incredible, to the point where I could actually go back to sleep, even with it on. So because you just use it with these little straps. This is my favorite way of using it. You can clip it to your earlobes, and that's excellent for I suppose more intense use. I find that a bit intense for what I use it for. This is what I prefer, but it depends. Everybody's different. Some people love it clipped onto their ears, or with the little patches to solve a particular problem in a particular area. But yeah, I think that really cemented John's belief and mine to do with the pain side of things and how it could help.
Yeah. Connected with that, there's something else a little bit more exciting and interesting, that few days before you came to find out about some problem.
Yes.
So
you mean when
that?
we did the analysis, and it actually said toothache on the list of things that it had picked up about myself. And I actually commented and said, well, that's right, and that's right. But I don't get toothache. But literally within a few days, I got an abscess. So it obviously knew that was developing before I actually felt the pain effects of it. Mm-hmm. So obviously what you have to remember is things like that. You have to go and get that sorted out. Mm-hmm. But the Healy was really good at helping with that issue of pain that I'd got and controlling the level of pain.
Thank you. Yes, that was exciting. And when you had mentioned that to me, that you haven't got pain and you've analyzed and showing pain, and I didn't have an answer for that, but 2 days later, amazing. It's an amazing product, no doubt. Do you want to say a little bit about the company makeup? The people who are in the top position, product is no doubt fantastic.
Well, this was probably another of the things that led me to think that this was well worth looking into and taking further. I think the main thing, aside from the product itself and what it did and the analysis and what that brought out, I think another main factor for me was the fact that it had in a year, it's a year as now. So actually when I was looking at it, it was a lot shorter period of time. It was just months. The number of countries that actually got the product into legally and were able to promote it in those countries, and it had been accepted even with all the different countries' laws and regulations, that to me was massive. Really, it just showed what kind of development had gone into the product leading up to its launch, and that these people were obviously very experienced at what they were doing. I mean, the sister company has been around for in the teens of years, and so there was no question at all once you find out who's got the expertise in all the frequency healing and things like that, and how long it's been going, and the type of issues that these people were dealing with. It just made it a very credible proposition.
Definitely. Thank you for that. So we have got an amazing product, an amazing team at the top. We've got the scientist and the doctors, Portuguese Dr. Nino. Do you want to say something on that?
Oh, yes. You mean you want me to say a little bit more about Marcus Schmeich? Well, he's obviously a very clever guy. He's leader of the Institute of Consciousness and all the research. I mean, he's put his life work into all of this area. He was been a monk for several years to have greater understanding. He'd studied physics and philosophy, and he actually lives on the job. Part of the whole business is in the castle that he lives in. There's big offices in 2 other locations in Europe to do with research and the marketing side of it, and then also the side of it that deals with all the websites that they've got and the customer service and the back office issue, all of that, because it's quite a technological company with everything being stored in the cloud, which basically means it's accessible, doesn't it, as well, for people to use. And then Nuno Nina, he was the person that had got the clinics in Portugal. He's had those and run them for many years, so he'd got a lot of experience on the actual frequencies and which frequencies helped which part of the body, or which frequencies helped which particular issues. And then he developed the gold packages, which is a sort of a complete collection, really, in the smaller device. But those 7 packages cover virtually everything that you'd want to cover in a very general way. And then you can go into more specific focused areas with the other packages. So very cleverly thought out.
Definitely. And also we've got the financial backing from one of the partners. There's 4 altogether. And of course, our top, the CEO responsible for taking it to the whole world, Dirk Zalman, is also an amazing gentleman, very successful. If you want to say a few words on of them.
There's the guy, Christian Harper, who worked in hedge funds, that basically, I think his role really is to do with all the finances. If you know anything about hedge funds, you'll know that they're quite clever in what they do with that. He's done that for a number of years, and he's invested in major projects from the money that he's made doing that, and Healy's one of them. So we've got his backing, and we've also got Dirk Zalman, who's very experienced in bringing products to the marketplace, and also multi-level marketing and how that works. And the other thing that I've seen over the months is, with all the road shows that they're doing, literally across every continent virtually, isn't it, Qureshi? The team are very, very dedicated to getting the word out about Healy and what it can do for people.
Amazing. So all we need is some people come on board and learn about this, explore, understand what Healy offers, and UK is here for us to promote it as much as we can. Hopefully, we will be having road shows here. Lots of leaders will be coming over soon. So, if anybody who wants to jump on the bandwagon now will obviously be in the front of everything. So, if you just want to invite it in your nice way, Kathryn.
Really, I think the invite really is to everybody to just take a look, because you've got nothing to lose by taking a look. You're not committing to anything, but just have a look. It is different, especially if you're not familiar with that kind of technology or way of thinking. It is different, but it's getting some really good results, and there's a lot of scientific research and backup to explain it all. I can't explain it all. I don't know how it all works, but it certainly is being beneficial to my family and lots of other people that are using it. So take a look.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Kathryn, for giving us time today, and fantastic information. And we will be back, no doubt, to give more updates in the coming days. But thank you really for your time today. And any last message you'd like to say before we end the interview?
Not that I can just think of at the minute. I think if you want more information, feel free to contact me. No doubt Qureshi will put my details in the comments somewhere. Get in touch and let's show you what this can do. And then it's up to you to make a decision as to what you want to do with it. And whatever that decision is fine.
Thank you very much. And thanks to everybody listening in. And we hope that we can interact with you one-to-one the coming days. Thank you.
See you soon. Thanks, Qureshi. Thank you. Bye-bye.